Hello, guys. Welcome back to Sports Kabri. I'm Rishi. I've got with me Adi today, and Rahul will join us shortly. And as of today, we have just gotten off to a rough start in the Test series. Gill's captaincy is not off to a great start. We've just lost the first Test at Headingley. It was, I wouldn't say a crushing defeat, but again, it's one of those demoralizing victories which I felt if we had given maybe a 15-20% more, I felt we could have come away with the result. Like, it always seemed like there would be a result produced in the game. Like, maybe in the last session of the last day when rain started affecting the game, I thought, okay, maybe we can escape with a draw. But ultimately, the game, that was like how the way it was being played, I never like it always felt like there was going to be a result. And I'm kind of disappointed that we were quite close, because in my opinion, at least, we weren't comprehensively beaten. Like, we were very much in the game. We could have done a little bit more and gotten away with the result, and that puts a lot of pressure on our team, because we already know how situation is, how limited Bumrah's game time is going to be. It's a new captaincy, it's a new leadership setup, and not a great start for them. So we're going to discuss how the test panned out, what the future lies, how the remainder of the series is going to turn out, how we can try and turn the ship around. So Adi, how do you feel the test went, bro? Do you feel, or what do you feel could have been, if you had done like tiny tweaks here and there, we could have come away with the result?
Bro, I think overall it's a bit of both. I don't think we can. It's a 5 day test series. You have to be on at your top level every single day. When day one started, I think India were dominating it comfortably. Jaiswal century. KL Rahul also had a good solid 40. You had guys like Gill scoring a century. When Pant came, he scored a century. Bro, scoring what? I think it was what, 437 if I'm not wrong, at
Hmm.
your first innings, and they were at ease. So the point is, you can't just come for day one and then forget about day two, three, four, and five.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that happened, but I think as the days passed, I think they did drop their level compared to day one. The way they started and such a dominant lead, coming into day two and then day three, I think they did have a bit of a drop off. And again, they had a good day three and four, and then the second half of day four to day five, it was a big, I would say, collapse in terms of the levels, in terms of their mentality, in terms of their game plan. Also, I think it was a bit of a scrambled up test match overall for both sides. Let me be clear. But if you're talking about an India perspective, they should have just planned the game better, and they should have just stuck to the plan and gone through a certain plan, because I don't think overall they had a strong batting plan, and I don't think overall they had a strong bowling plan. With batting, I think it came down to individual performances like KL Rahul. Okay, we're sitting here, and when we come back to the third innings, we can say Pant scored a century, but I did think he could have gotten out earlier. The way he was batting, especially day four, the first session, I think he was a bit edgy, like when he was batting, and I thought he got lucky. In the first session, I thought he could have been out like two, three times, but that's what test matches are. But coming back, bro, I think day one was solid. I think we have to let's go day by day. I think that'll be easier for us to assess. I think day one we started off very, very strong, bro. Like in terms of a batting unit, I think Jaiswal and Ral looked comfortable. But I'll be honest, I thought they can score a 200 partnership with ease, like the way they were batting. KL was I would say a bit unlucky, but it was out of character for him to go through for the drive the way he played that shot. The first innings where he got out, I think the way he was batting, he was, to be fair, flawless. I actually didn't see any flaws in the way he was batting. I think Jaiswal struggled a bit more in the beginning compared to KL, but yeah, I think he was batting flawless. And then he got out. Sai Sudarshan came in. I think okay, number three, it's a new position. No one's there right now for India. Gill played, he struggled. I think that's what happened to Sai Sudarshan. I think it was a bad wicket to get out to on your debut. You should be doing better. You are under pressure. You have to assess the situation and then play. Third ball, you're getting out to Stokes. I think it was a setup. It was a setup when he got out. And then again, I think Gill, Punt, they played well to the conditions. Even Jaiswal, I think the conditions were there. I personally believe England were bowling very poor on day one. Like they were terrible in their bowling. Like I
Mm.
saw a lot of overpitched balls. I saw a lot of on the slot balls, and Gill and Punt were playing comfortable. Like and Shoaib Bashir, I don't think he bowled pretty well in terms of he's the only spin option for them, and he was just tossing it up for Punt, who loves to smash. I think day one overall, bro, like India were dominant and they should have continued that dominance to the day two, day three. But I think that's where they stumbled after Punt Gill got out. Even on day one, the lower order collapsed. Like we saw that it was not a new thing in innings. The second innings, it happened in the first innings also. I think guys like Karuna, Jadeja could have done better. I expect even Thakur to play better because he's a guy who can play Test cricket. He's scored a lot of runs. He scored a lot of runs outside India also. So I think he should have done better. And I think we should talk about our batting lineup. I think the top four, top five played well, but maybe the number three and the lower order was where they were below par, like in my opinion.
That's interesting because, like you mentioned, we have had welcome Rahul, our famous friend who I want to before I get into our discussion of the lower order. Our friend Rahul had boldly declared that we only needed 500 and we can declare after that, and we'd be on the front foot for the rest of the game. And I mean, to be fair, we did score around 471, although I think we lost a fourth wicket at 430 for 4, and then we got
Yeah.
skittled all out for 471, which I felt, again, like that, I felt that was the main difference between India and England, where England were getting a steady flow of runs up until like even Bryden Cast, who comes what seven down, eight down, and
I think it
like they
comes
could
nine if I'm not wrong.
now. Yeah, that's, yeah, again, much to their credit. So they were getting a steady flow of runs from, their tail as well. Now I don't know if that's their brilliance or our bowlers not being disciplined enough. We'll get to that, but even in the second innings, the minute our main batters who are doing somewhat well get out, it's a parade after that. There is no reliable stream of runs that's coming. There's nobody who can even contribute. Even guys like Shardul Thakur and Jadeja, who are there because they can offer something with the bat, they are not even offering any sort of resistance. Like, you don't have to score runs, but at least stick in there, make them think, make them work hard for it. That even that is not happening, and that is what I felt was missing for us. And yeah, Rahul, what that 500 was enough?
Yeah, I still think so, bro. Even if you go into the next test match, I would say if you're scoring 500 runs in the first innings, it is enough. If you're batting for 1.5 to 2 days, scoring 500 runs in the first innings, I would still say you have to declare. If you want to win the
That is,
game,
Rahul,
if
that
you
is
want to
keeping in
trust
mind
it,
our only strike bowler is Jasprit Bumrah. The
it does
others
not
are
matter.
either
It,
inexperienced.
it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the bowling is. I think if you have to win the game, you have to. If you're scoring 500 runs in the first innings, you are winning. You have to. You have to declare this. Not that you have to declare 500, 550 runs is enough. And I think where we, at the end of the day, the questions will be asked of the fact that we didn't bowl well, especially the first change bowler was Prasidh Krishna.
Was it surprising though that we didn't bowl as well as we should have or we thought we would?
No,
Because
that's
for
the
me, it was
point.
not a
No,
surprise.
that's the point. Regardless of whatever, like even if we did well, didn't do well, I think from a batting perspective, you're scoring 470, 480 runs. Yeah, okay, you can be critical and say, okay, the middle to tail did not wag, like it didn't. We didn't score those runs both in the first and the second innings. If you want to be really critical, but again, if you're scoring up over 800 runs across two innings in a test match, that should be ideally enough to get you over the line. And I think again, 370, 380 runs in a fourth innings is very hard. Like we are acting like it's just normal, it just happened. It's extremely hard. How many times have you seen 380 runs being chased in a test match in the last innings? It doesn't happen that much. It's actually quite rare. So you have to go back and think about what we got wrong as a bowling unit, because I think in the first innings where we didn't take our catches. That was poor. It was like really poor. Like, dude, we dropped 4 5 catches.
One,
And
Jaiswal missed a
yeah,
couple of sitters.
exactly. Jaiswal, two catches, punt, or which was not a thick edge, it was a thin edge uh, behind the stumps of Jadeja. That should have been taken. Bro, you put that into context, and then the fact that in the fourth innings, Rashid Krishna was not good enough, especially in that first spell after Bumrah and Siraj bowled really well in their
Yeah.
first spell. And again, bro, Jadeja, it was not what you expect of him. Like, again, it's not me saying it. It's like people who've played and watched the game for so long who said it, that in that first spell of his, or even in the second, he didn't bowl enough into the rough. There was a massive rough outside the off stump for the left-hander. That was Ben Duckett. You know he's going to play the reverse sweep. What do you want? You want something to happen out of the ordinary. And where will you get that
Pant
if you
was
bowl
even
it into the rough?
saying, like, Pant was just repeatedly saying, asking Jadeja to just land it in the rough because
Yeah,
there were huge footmarks.
exactly. So I don't know why he didn't do it, or like what his thought process was. But again, as a spinner, as the only spinner in the team, it was Jadeja's responsibility as well in the fourth innings to help out. Because when he did start bowling into the rough to Stokes, you saw what happened. Like, anything could have happened. First 3 balls, there were 2 chances. One review we took for a catch at short leg, um, and random things happening. One just went hit Pant in the chest. Dude, that's what happens when you bowl into the rough. And for an experienced bowler to not be able to do what he probably should have done is kind of disappointing. I think apart from that, I can't blame the batters too much. Again, they did their job. If you really want to be critical, yeah, okay, fine. You can say they should have added another 50, 60 runs. But in a test match, if you're scoring 800, 850 runs, that's enough. That's genuinely enough. I think if the only thing is, even if you added, say, another 60, 70 runs, maybe you don't have the time to win the test match. I think that's the risk. Like, it's a thing, dude. Like, if you score 600 runs in the first innings, you just don't know if you're gonna have enough time to win the game. So I think that's where it comes down to, and it's fine. I think at the end of the day, it is genuinely down to the fact that our bowling, yeah, is
Sudipta saying that 370 seriously is even 500 isn't enough if you're
exactly
bowling like that.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Exactly.
exactly I kind of agree, which is why I was saying, and I still maintain that okay, in an ideal world, if in a test match we're scoring 500 runs, if we're scoring 800, almost close to 800 runs over 2 innings, we are pretty much winning the game because I would assume we have a bowling lineup capable of it. Like today in this match, if we were to have somebody like, again, not the current present day Shami or Ishan Sharma, but the ones who used to tour England before, like at least if not anything, they would just be disciplined, bowl consistently in one area. At least that,
Precisely.
if we had that, I would still say that then it's clearly like we are in the up, we are having the edge, we are having the upper hand. But when you have bowlers like this, dude, I could see Prasidh Krishna like ask for a particular field and not bowl twice in the same area. Like you have to be more disciplined no matter
Yeah,
what.
no,
And particularly even in the first innings, I felt when he started off, his short balls were good because they were aimed at the body. But towards the end, he started bowling it wide, and Chris Woke started tonking him, absolutely tonking him. Like, where is the accuracy? Like as a test bowler, that should be your go-to weapon, the accuracy and consistency. That even like I usually am critical of Siraj for the same thing, but I felt in the second innings he was very accurate. He was very
and Siraj was
consistent also.
brilliant.
Like like you
I thought he
mentioned,
was, yeah,
like
he was
that,
really good.
like twice or twice, like I don't know how he was missing the edges. Like,
Bro,
and even
there
once
was
it, I think it missed the edge, and
Siraj.
I mean it hit the edge and went to the first slip as well.
Yeah, that was
Like
Duckett, but Siraj had those 2 balls, one that went into Crawley, and he was beaten
correct,
on the inside, and then he bowled an outswinger the very next ball, and Crawley had no
correct.
idea. So it was Siraj was,
Hmm.
I think, he was really good. But bro, I think
Yep.
that's the difference. Like you said, no, like Prasid Krishna, who was your who are your other seamers? Okay, we've had Jaiswal Bumrah now for like 7 8 years, whatever, in Test cricket. You've had Shami for 7 8 years in Test cricket. But you look at the other bowlers, India have always had good, solid, reliable bowlers. Ishan Sharma, reliable, like might not be outstanding, but he's such a reliable test bowler, bro. Ishant Sharma went to England in 2011, 2015, 2014, 2018 as well. And I don't remember if he was there in
Yeah.
2021. I think he was actually. I just can't remember. But
He was there
he was
when
there.
it.
So that's what I'm saying. Such a reliable bowler who you've taken on 4 tours of England, we don't even talk about him. And today we don't have, bro, I don't know if it is T20 cricket or not, but if you cannot hit an area, Test cricket is going to be hard. Like, it's just going to be hard no matter who you are.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And because of this, because of the kind of performances that we've displayed, a lot of questions are being asked about the captaincy. A lot of, because I could see, like for instance, on a lot of occasions we were following the ball. Like the field placements were pretty much following the ball. Like it was like even DK mentioned it in live on air that we were plugging the gaps. Like a shot went over mid wicket, we were placing a mid wicket. A shot went between backward point and gully, we were placing a fielder there. And a lot of questions are being asked. Of course, it's very harsh on Gill. It's his debut as a captain.
I think it's
We
very
don't.
hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like he only pretty much gets to work with what given to him. But at the same time, questions are also being asked about our coach Gautam Gambhir as to how are we looking this helpless. It's been a while now. How are we looking this helpless? Like where do we go from here? Because I genuinely don't know how, like what we can do, at least with the given set of players, to turn this ship around, at least produce results in the upcoming tests. So it has gotten to a point where questions are, at least in this case, rightfully being asked towards Gautam Gambhir, as in where do we go? Like what was your like thought process? So Adi, like do you think it's a fair assessment, or do you think Gautam Gambhir, the criticism that he is receiving or questions that he's being asked is fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair for both. Even though I said, it's a matter of you can't be harsh on Gill. I think when you're the captain, you've been captain for a while, 2 seasons in IPL, you've had experience coming to England. This is not the first time you've come to England. You've come here before 3 times, and the way the match went this past 5 days, I don't think it was a matter of experience, but a matter of staying calm and doing the right things. To be fair, I feel like we're being harsh on the bowlers in terms of there was nothing to give, bro. Like I think the ball was doing nothing the entire day yesterday until like the last session for the spinner. Even Bumrah was, to be fair, Bumrah was also he didn't get a wicket and he was not looking the same Bumrah when you have your conditions playing to you. I think that's the thing. I think it's very unfair to be like, okay, like I think Prashad Krishna could have played better, but at the end of the day, he's the one who got 2 wickets, like 2 breakthroughs. We can say Thakur should have been better, but they got the 2 wickets. Like Siraj and Bumrah were not able to do that throughout the day. I'm not saying it's a fault on Bumrah and Siraj, but I'm trying to say that the pitch itself was like that. I think that's why I would put a bit more blame on the lower order, like for me personally, because I think 5 days straightforward, 5 days you can see both teams scored more than 800. It's not just a one team thing where India scored more than 800. Even England were able to score 800 with these. Like to be fair, you look at England's bowling. I think they were poor. They were ordinary. Even yesterday, day four, when they got the wicket of Punt, I think it was a stupid shot when you look at it. Like it was literally a stupid shot given the context. Like he just went what was long on. I think it was where he got caught, and then who was I think KL again. Like he could have done better. It was a the way he was playing again. It was a matter of he could have done better. I think that line to play into your body in that line when he was leaving it the entire day, he could have done better. And then you see Karunaya, Thakur, Jadeja, they just didn't score like as Rahul said at least 50-60 runs extra. Like not only in the first inning, second innings, but even in the first innings, they didn't give that 50-60 extra runs, which England could get from guys like Jamie Smith yesterday, guys like Vokes on in the first innings. Like the point is they were able to do that, and that's why England were in the game. Because if guys like Vokes are going to give you runs, you'll always be in the game, and you can't extend away. Like India could have had an easy 100-run lead, if not for Bumrah bowling that no ball, if not for Jadeja dropping, if not for Jaiswal dropping. But at the end of the day, you should when we came to day four, it's Karuna's first test match. You've given a chance. You need to be there to score more runs. And I think same with I can say with Gill also the way he got out was pretty bad on day four. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of you need to be able to bat longer because honestly, this 5 days, the pitch, the way the pitch was, it's supposed to be a draw. I think we all after day one, day two, we were like, bro, this has to be the easiest draw for us. Like, I'm sorry to say, I don't think England should have won the way India could have batted, because this was a dead written draw. Like, it should have been a draw. But going to day four with they had 350 to chase. If you have to go back, India scored 369 on day one. So you can say it's not done before, but on this pitch, India did it on day one, and I think England could have easily done it and did it. I think it's a matter of they should have just put more runs on the board. But yeah, but I think it's very fair to say Gambhir should be under pressure. I think it's not only a one-off thing, it's a three series thing. Like, losing not only away but at home, losing to New Zealand at home. To what I've seen, India, England test one, I don't think there's been a big change. First, let me tell, in bowling, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, even though we're harsh on the bowlers, I think like guys like Thakur and Prasad Krishna could have done better in terms of line and length. I'm not talking in terms of like getting wickets or, I think they could have been more tighter. And going back, if I remember, even in the Australia series, I think we had the same issue. We were all telling, why is it so erratic? I think that time the third bowler was Akashdeep, Harshit Rana. I think those two were the guys who bowled. And we were talking about how even Siraj, to be fair, was very erratic that series. I think we were making this conversation about why are they so erratic in the line and length. That Australia series, it was all Bumrah getting the wickets. You look at this series, the first innings, it was Bumrah who got a fifer. You come to the second innings, even though because Bumrah couldn't get that fifer, you see that India were not able to get them all out, for example. But I think like they just need to be better in terms of bowling, the line and length. And I think it comes from coaching. I feel like if it's happening once, maybe it's a bowler issue. But if it's happening with different bowlers in different games, in different countries, I think it has to be for me, there has to be more pressure on guys like Mon and Mokul, if I'm being honest. Because I honestly haven't seen any change in the way India's been bowling from the past three test series. First test series, okay, it was New Zealand. It was more of that, turn. I don't think Mon and Mokul will be a lot. But Australia series, England series, to what we've seen in the first test, there's been no change. And I think both Monomokel and leave with Gambhir, I think he shouldn't be a test coach, like me personally. Like, you can't. India's the only team who's won one game in nine test matches, if I'm not wrong. Even guys like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka won more in the past nine test matches. So it says it all, bro. Like, even if you put the context of, okay, it's been three top teams, you can't be losing at home 3-0. You can't go away and lose 4-1. You can't come and lose 1-0. I mean, lose your first test at England, which, again, in context, you could have at least put it to a draw. I think, me personally, I don't think the coach is good enough, and I don't think. I think questions should be asked, like serious questions to be asked, if it was me at least.
And especially about selection criteria, because the justification that was coming out was like regarding the Shardul Thakur selection was that, okay, we need a fourth seamer, we need somebody who can offer a little bit more with the ball, and he put up a grand total of 16 overs. Now, I don't know what is the reasoning behind it. I mean, clearly the pitch was flat. Like, so if you had somebody coming in and bowling late 120s, early 130, he was gonna get creamed, which he did. And much to his credit, he picked up 2 wickets back to back in the second innings, which again, I don't think were necessarily good balls. The one to Duckett was wide outside off stump. He absolutely leathered it. A brilliant catch by Nitish Kumar Reddy, the substitute. And the second one was wide down the leg, which pretty much was how Sai Sudarshan also got out. So
Exactly.
a grand total of 16 overs by your supposed fourth pacer, who is supposed to offer like something with the ball. Like, so, and you could see how he was chasing the ball like wide outside off stump and getting out. So what is the thought process behind like Shardul Thakur? Like, why not, if you really
Yeah.
needed somebody who can be a bit more reliable with the bat, why not play somebody like Nitish Kumar Reddy? Why not play another batter? Because if you really wanted to go with Shardul Thakur, you would have bowled him more. So I feel like these questions are rightfully, like the both of you mentioned, like are like should be asked towards Gautam Gambhir. And Rahul Mahapatra saying that I want to point out that another thing which is important, the pre-2022 England conditions and post-2022 conditions in England have vast differences. Pitches have become a lot flatter, wobble seam is, that's true.
I don't.
To an extent, yes.
I
To
don't.
an extent, yeah, da.
It is
Yeah,
true,
I
bro.
mean,
Like, you see,
headingly has
particularly
each
always
England
been
batter's
Lords.
average, it's become like 40-50. Like, it's true.
that
Like,
doesn't mean the pitches have gotten flatter. Maybe the
it
batters are
has.
better.
Like, you look at the past five
Which
days, you
wicket has
can't
gotten
say.
flatter in England? So Headingley has always been like this. The last time we played here also it was like this. What is which wicket in
Leave
England has got?
Headingley, even Lords, for example, like the
No, Lords has
bounce,
always been.
you are
I
not
think
like
Lords can
the
always
keepers are
score.
having to come. It was not as much as this. Like, of course, it was
Historically,
relatively lower as
no,
compared
no,
to the
no.
remaining England pitches, but I don't think it was always as low
It
as it
was
is right now.
always like this. Lords was always like this. If you go to any Lord, you go see, go watch all the Lords tests that India have played here. There's always been runs in Lords.
Mm,
It's not going to move corners or it's not. You're not going to get insane movement at Lords anyways. And the same thing Headingley, I
mm,
think it's the same. Like, but if you go to more like Trent Bridge has always produced like something for the. You'll always have something for the ball. Same thing in Manchester. It will swing around. So it conditions are this pretty much the same. I don't think it's that drastic. The quality has definitely dropped. I think, bro, there's a clear difference in quality in terms of the bowlers that we used to have for India and
yeah, of
England
course.
both. Yeah, and I think that results in better batting. I think it's not the fact that the wickets have changed drastically, bro. Like on these kind of wickets that are little docile, like they're not giving you anything. What would you do, bro? 3 years back, you would keep on square leg out, fine leg out, just bump six. Like
Mm,
you have one spell in the middle where nothing is happening. You just bowl bouncers. You don't see that, bro. Like anymore. Like you don't have that anymore. So it's just the fact that Test cricket, like, and I understand in this kind of game maybe it was hard because of the fact that yeah, you didn't have they were chasing the score and you were also scared of losing the game. But yeah, I don't think it's that drastic a difference or anything like that. But anyways, bro, even if you
If I
just look at
have
it,
to give context to you, as Rahul said, Trent Bridge, before 2021, it used to be around 350. In 2021, it was 183, the average first inning score.
mm,
Since 2022, it's become 553 runs. Then
Trent
it was
Bridge,
four.
where
Yes,
have you
Trent.
played? Where
Nottingham, right?
how many test matches were played?
553 runs in 2022. In 2024 is 416. And in 2025,
No,
it's
but Adi,
565.
how
I
many
think they played, I
international
think,
games?
one
How many
second. I think,
international games were played there and against whom were
one
they
second,
played?
let me finish. I think it doesn't matter, right? Like the
It
point, it
does
shows
matter.
that now you're telling a place. Even I remember England playing in Trent Bridge against Zimbabwe. Bro, the Zimbabwe batsmen were looking good like that day. I think there has been a thing where like it's become more flatter. England scored around 580 runs in the first innings, and overall, the stats shows it's not me who's saying. And you look at the
You can't take an England Zimbabwe game and say, oh, well, they're scoring 500 runs at Trent Bridge. Like
Rahul, but
that's works.
Zimbabwe were also able to score 300 runs on that pitch. It's not
And
like.
yeah, but there's also a very good possibility that the groundsperson would have given them a good batting wicket
So
because
we
of
talk,
the fact that
Rahul,
Zimbabwe are coming to England
it's
after
not an
20 something
isolated
years.
incident, right? Like if I go back to
Okay, so
2024,
tell
it's
me this.
416.
Okay,
If I
tell me the
go
last
back to
year.
2022, it's
Adi, I'm
553. So
asking you. I don't know the stats, but India have not because India have not played at Trent Bridge in these years. I'm asking you, how many games have actually been played at Trent Bridge in the last 2 3 years? I don't know.
Rahul, even if it's 1-2 games, it's I'm talking about England. England are playing there. England
So
were
I'm
and the
asking
first.
you. That's what I'm asking. How many games have England played there? I don't know.
Even if it's bro, the point in 3 years they played at least 3 games is my point. It's not an isolated incident where they played one game and one
They played
extreme
three
game
games
was
since 2022 at Trent Bridge. You're saying.
okay. We'll have to pull out the stats, but my point is
I
that
don't know.
average
That's exactly
score.
what I'm saying. So until we know what has actually happened, we
Rahul,
can't
my
speak.
point is there have
But
been matches
I am
played.
speaking for what I have seen at Trent Bridge over the years.
Exactly, and we are
I
talking
am
about
only
how
giving you,
pre
and I am telling you,
2022, Rahul, pre 2022,
bro,
before
Adi,
Vikram came in and became the
England at
coach.
home in the last 2 years have played
Sorry,
West Indies, they've played Sri Lanka, they've played Zimbabwe. Now let's put that into
they played the
context.
Ashes, bro, in
Yeah, they
2023.
played Cash, but I don't know if there was a test match at Trent Bridge. I don't remember. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not sure.
2022, they played New Zealand also.
Okay, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you what happened. Like I don't know what if there was a test match at
The
Trent Bridge. I don't know
Rahul,
what
my
was,
point is there's a
and
clear
I don't
indicator.
remember the game.
There's a clear
Yeah,
indicator where pre 2022, post 2022, there has been an increase
bro.
inflated batting average in England. Not only, I'm not talking just based on this number. Like I've looked at the English batsmen play. Like, bro, it's easier for them to play. Trent Bridge, I was watching Zimbabwe versus England. the openers Crawley and Duckett, they were going from ball
Yeah,
one. It was,
they will score runs against the Zimbabwe attack. Like I can't. There
no,
is
but my
no.
point is even Zimbabwe, the openers were looking good. Unfortunately, they don't have the quality. But bro, they were able to score 280 runs in the first
I
innings, which is a
personally think
lot.
I know based on whatever Test cricket I've watched over the years in general, I'm saying regardless of the wicket, I think the quality of Test bowling in this Indian team has dropped massive. I don't think it is the same. Like, bro, that's again, this is me speaking out of what I have seen in 2011, 2014, all those years in England. We had bowlers who could just keep it in that fourth stump, fifth stump line and just bowl. Just bowl. There's no, you don't have to go searching. Like, there's nothing to do. You just keep it in the area. You will get a wicket. They will nick off at some point, even if the wicket is flat. Now, here, what is happening is just not, we just don't have that discipline. And I don't know what the reason is. Probably T20 cricket, but it's just not there. And I don't think it's a pitch thing that is it's a massive difference. I can clearly see there's a lack of quality in bowling. So I don't think and even
Okay,
Jadeja,
I'll give you another thing. Like we'll talk about
I don't know.
hitting the
I'm telling you what I'm saying from my angles.
bro, but we have to put context to the pitch. I'm just talking about the pitch because I don't think England, bro, if you're being honest, you and me, you watched England ball the first innings. We can't say they were good enough, but they still won the test match. It comes down to the batting. Second innings, they didn't ball good enough. It just came down to their batting was
How
stronger
does
than
it come
India's
down to
batting.
the batting when you can see the fact that Prashid Krishna has done is not able to land it in
Rahul,
one
my
inning?
point is,
How,
do you think England bowlers were
how
exceptional this time?
I,
Like, were you telling?
I am simply looking at my team. I am telling you where I think our team
But
should have done
okay,
better.
okay, we'll talk
I am
about our
simply
team.
saying Jadeja again to not bowl into the rough in the fourth innings is a very basic thing. It's just like, bro, you know you have to bowl into the rough. You go and see Nathan Lyon in the fourth innings. First thing you do, he'll bowl it into the rough. Like that's it. It's not a rocket science. Like everybody knows it that for a fourth innings wicket, when the spinner's on, you bowl it into the rough. That's it. Like there's no two ways about it. I don't think we were good enough with the ball at all. So that's it. And I don't think we were good enough in the field in the first innings. So I think that's why we lost the game.
And
Not
one thing I felt was the difference between the batting is that majority of our wickets, I felt we kind of gave it to them in the sense they didn't have to go over the top to try and work us out and play us like okay, like for example, Sai Sudarshan, right when he came on, there was a deep square leg. There were two leg slips, not even one. And the first one was jammed into his body, which he kind of blocked. I think there was an
He
LBW
struggled the
appeal or
first ball
something.
also. It was not like
Yeah.
he
No,
was
I
comfortably
think
playing.
there's kind of an LBW appeal or whatever, but it was anyway too high. And the
It
second
was,
one
it
was
was.
down the leg, which hit his thigh pad, was appealed, didn't give. The third one was where it was even wider, which he pretty much poked. Karun Nair, the same thing. Like it wasn't very hard. It was a plain setup, threw his wicket away. Like Rishabh Pant didn't even offer a shot. Like I feel on a lot of occasions, like same thing, Shardul Thakur fishing away a ball that was like what 6, 7 stump, like that was over pitch, not even a good length ball. Like a lot of times, even in the second innings, I felt like of course KL Rahul chopped on and unfortunate, but it was a lot easier. At least in this test, it was a lot easier for the English bowlers to find wickets rather than us because we had to go over the top and do XYZ for us to search for wickets. We were desperately searching for wickets. On the other, like they just they had a game plan, they knew what to do, and they didn't go astray. Like they were very disciplined in that manner. Like we in the I feel somewhere in the like of course different pressures for different people, like somebody like someone is trying to make a debut, someone's having a second stint, so they're playing for different reasons, like not playing for different reasons, but they're playing under different circumstances. But I felt the baseline was this. And anyway, moving on, we have about a week left for the second test in Edgbaston, a very very crucial test. Like we lose this, it's nearly impossible to win the series from here. Like and so yeah, where do we go from here, guys? Like what changes do we bring about? Like is it just a mindset thing? Because I could see the shoulders drop, there was no noise, like the whole attitude of the team was like very down and depressed. Like Ravi Shastri was having to mention multiple times that there is a Virat Kohli shaped hole in the field where there is no voice, there is no support, there is no like cheer for the team. Like you, like he was saying, because of this one absence you need almost 2 to 3 players who are coming in and providing the voice. So is it just a mindset thing? Do you guys make changes, and if yes, what are the changes would you guys like to see Rahul first, and then we'll go to Adi.
I don't see any changes, bro. I don't think there is any. What change can you make? You're looking at Shardul
So
Thakur, maybe.
Shardul Thakur
That's it.
plays.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're not going to get a wicket like this, he will be effective, like, under, like, slight better conditions, or under traditional English conditions. He will do decently. Like, it's not that he won't. To, like, on this wicket, of course, like, somebody of his pace and height, you're just not going to get anything, unfortunately. But other than that, I don't see anything else, bro. Like, where else will you go with changes other than the fact that, yeah, you potentially could look at somebody else, maybe a fourth, another seam option instead of Shardul Thakur. Somebody like, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know. Maybe you look at a left armer, Rashdeep or something like that. Other than that, I
Mm.
don't see anything major, bro. Like, yeah, other, batting tone, nothing. I don't see any changes at all.
Adi.
But I think there needs to be a bit of change because for me personally, I don't understand the role with Shardul Thakur. You're not using him as a bowler. I think we came into saying, okay, we're going to use more of
But
Thakur as
that's
a bowler.
this test match, no? Like, I think that's
Adi,
this specific.
do you feel if like the
But
pitch
the
was
thing is not
not as flat as this, don't you think he would have bowled a little bit more? I don't know how effective he would be.
Exactly.
Maybe he'd get a little bit more lateral
but,
movement, but again,
but
it's another topic that which I feel England hasn't had, or the amount of lateral movement that's happening has reduced over the years. So I don't know how effective Shardul Thakur might be, but don't you think he would have had a little bit more overs to bowl? Like certainly more than 16 at least.
I still don't think he's going to do much with the ball, anyways, because I think we have to look at players that they are today, not they are 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I think right now, today, you have to move on from certain people if it just doesn't look right. I think it's that's it. Like even with Jadeja, we can question his relevance in this team when you have to be critical. I think Sanjay Manjrekar was also saying, I can't believe, but I have to agree with him with something, but you have to put him under question. And do you think a guy like Kuldeep Yadav could have done better yesterday? I think he could have. And the
No,
point
no,
is
no,
more like,
nothing.
are you
No
ready
chance.
to get someone else if you think they are able to prove something else? It's not a matter of, oh, no chance, they won't do it, but you won't get to know until they get a
I
chance.
know,
Like,
but one second, just from a very like cricketing perspective, if you're looking at Kuldeep Yadav yesterday, for example, a leg spinner bowling into the rough, which is outside the left-hander's off stump, is going to turn away. There's no,
Run away
Now,
from him.
it
I'm
makes no
I'm not
difference.
talking. See, my point exactly. My point is, I'm not talking about Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja as their, one is finger, one is wrist, etc. I'm not talking about that. My point is, you have Kuldeep Yadav. Will he make sure he gets the better of the pitch? Can he do that more? I've seen Kuldeep Yadav improve in that aspect over the years. I'm talking with Jadeja. Did he? Point is, there's a rough. You were talking about how Jadeja can use it. But if he's not using it and not taking advantage to it, what's the point of having a player who's not able to adapt and use the advantages when it's provided for you? Now you're saying Jadeja is a better bowler. He should have used the advantage. He should have used the rough and bowled it into guys like Stokes and Duckett. Entire time, if you go look at him, he only reverse sweep Jadeja. Like he didn't have any intent to play cuts, nothing. He just kept reverse. Even Stokes started doing that after some time. You said Stokes struggled in the first 2 overs. I remember, like even Punt was not able to judge where the ball will come. It was literally like a short ball. I think no, it was for both Stokes and Duckett, if I'm not wrong. The point is like you have to be able to use the advantages. If Jadeja is not using the advantages that has been provided, I'm trying to talk in that aspect. Why are you playing him when he's not able to use it, right? Like you have to start questioning players in their ability and where they are right now. He's not doing it right now, and you have to question it. Like, bro, I remember like it's become a big talking point now, but he was saying how test matches are easy to play, it's easy to captain, like it's not that big of a deal. And here bowling 20 overs in a day and not able to adapt throughout the day, like especially second and third session. And my point is, can Kuldeep come and do a better job? We'll have to see. But if you continue the performance like this and not really adapt, I think you have to ask questions. Like you have to look at changes. It's inevitable. Like you can't do anything about it. I think even maybe with Thakur or Karun Nair, maybe not the next test, but I would, me personally, if this is how the England pitches are, which I think mostly it will be like this. If it's going to be like this for the entire summer, I think you have to get in someone like Nitish Kumar or Dhruv Jurel just for the fact that you need an extra batter. Like you looked at this first 2 innings of India playing and you understand that India needs an extra batter who can bat. Like you can't do anything about it. Like without having that extra batter, you're not going to get runs, bro. Like we spoke about how England were able to go batting until 8, 9. Like India can't do that right now, and that's a big stumbling block for them. Like if you're technically looking at the first innings, your batting gets over at 6, let's say, and after that, Taku's not able to do anything at the bat. I'd rather have 80 runs from a Nitish Kumar Reddy, 80 runs from a Dhruv Jurel, than a 2 runs from Thakur and maybe get the wicket, maybe not get the wicket. Like if you're talking about can someone do the job, I think Bumrah and Siraj can be able to get you wickets if you really need extra wickets in a game. If the pitch is doing what it wants to do and what it wants to do under their bowling, they can get the wickets. I think we don't have to concentrate so much on that. Maybe though I think the batting side needs to improve, and I think there needs to be changes in the batting. And also I think someone like Ashdeep should come in because I don't know if Bumrah will play next match. I don't think Bumrah will play the next match because he bowled a lot this past 2 innings, and I think even after yesterday, Gambhir said like he confirmed that Bumrah will only play 3 matches. It doesn't matter the results, and if you're not going to play Bumrah, I think Ashdeep should come in and like I think he'll come in next game like regardless.
Yeah, I don't think Bumrah will play the next game either because he will play the Lord's game, I'm guessing. So
But what do you guys mean that Bumrah should not play the next game? I mean,
Lord
see,
means
like, bro, in the sense, okay, Bumrah doesn't play the next game. It's already looking bleak for us. It's gonna get like I think we can all come to the consensus that our job gets even more difficult. Now, if we lose this test, the second test also, what do we have to play for after this? Like,
But you have to adapt. Like, point is, you
that's
can't do
there,
anything
but
if
like
Bumrah is not ready to give, right? Like, it's
that is
not a
there.
matter of
That is
us
there.
telling. Like, it's a matter of
but
Bumrah saying, "I."
So what are you saying? You play
if
all
it's
him first
three,
three tests, he should let him play all his first three, and then we'll see 4 and 5.
Yeah,
at least
you
at
can't
least
do
if
that.
we can pull one test back, at least the next immediate test, we play him, then we
Then you
have the
only get
series left
one
to play
test
for.
out of three, Rishi. You're going to only get one test match. Okay, you get him next. Okay, it's 1-1. You're only getting one out of him. Now, let's say England win the other two. You're already winning it 3-2.
No, but I
So,
don't know what is this. Why is this 3 out of 5 thing happening? Like,
bro, it's a
why
personal
is it
choice. You
I
happening?
can't
mean,
do much. It is a Bumrah thing, right? It's not a
so like
India
Bumrah
thing.
in the recent interviews said he met with a lot of specialists, and based on their scans and tests, they realized that this is how much he can offer. He can't offer anything more. Like his body will break down if he gives anything more than this.
That's bad.
Like the whole back injury thing, and it is unfortunate. But guys, like yeah, like I was saying, so now if we do pull a result in the second test, we have something to fight for. Then we can at least hope that okay, there is a chance. Okay, we will get only one out of the next three. Rest him for the third test, bring him back for the fourth test, maybe rest him for the fifth test. We have something to play for then. We rest Bumrah tomorrow. I mean, the next week, the next test. We lose this. It's almost impossible to come back from this. Like to even pull a like get away with a
Mm.
draw. So like why would you place eggs in the future basket which we are not even assured of, rather than try going full throttle at like your immediate results.
That's
And
fair. Mm.
like I agree with Adi that we have to have some more batting, bro. Like in ideal conditions, I would have very much agreed that if we have 500 on board, we are supposed to have the upper hand. But with the situation how it is, with the tools that we have right now, we can't just settle for 500. Like if the pitches are anything that, I mean, if they resemble anything like the first inning, like the first test, we need as much batting as possible. That is what England are also doing. Their bowling is, I wouldn't say is great. Like they're okay, they're good. I mean, they did the job, but it was all about their batting, how their batsmen stuck to the plan.
See,
If we
but the
can get in.
difference is they have Chris Wokes. We don't have that player. That balance is fine because of Chris Wokes. If we had that kind of player, even our balance would be fine. So it's not the same.
Rahul,
India and England are not
they
the
don't
same.
have anybody like Bumrah either. The
But
kind of
see,
players
but the
they
point
have,
is
we
they
don't
have
have,
four.
but the kind of players we have, they don't have either. We are having to
See, but
make do with what we
no,
have.
my point is they have four seamers at the end of the day. We don't have four
I
seamers.
agreed.
We
Now,
need to have four seamers, no matter
if we
what.
really need, we can play Nitish Kumar Reddy. I'm
He's
sure
not fourth
uh,
seamer. Where is he fourth seamer? He's not
No,
one
but
of
the
if
those.
he has
point
to
is
bowl,
when Thakur is only
I'm
16
pretty sure he can
overs.
bowl 16, 17 overs.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. Like,
No.
If
It's
that is
not
how
about
much we
just
really
bowling 16, 17
give
overs.
him.
16, 17 overs, even, I don't know, bro. Some Shubman Gill will bowl. But my point is to bowl effective 16, 17 overs, you need a good bowler. You can't just bowl 16, 17 overs. In that 16, 17 overs, if he leaks runs, which is usually the job of fourth bowler, just keep it tight
That
and keep it simple.
that happened to Shardul Thakur also in the first test. The
Exactly.
minute they came
No,
on, they were assaulting him.
I am saying I know this test had happened. The way the pitch played in the first innings, you knew that Shardul would have a very limited role after that. But I don't think it's going to be the case every game. But anyways, even if you decide to drop Shardul Thakur, you need to
So
replace
Rahul,
him with a steamer.
for
You have to
example,
have a steamer.
Taku went 6.3 in the first innings,
Hmm.
5.1 in the second innings. He was basically highest in both innings cumulative. So the point is, if you're going to get similar amounts of bowling and similar quality from Nitish Kumar Reddy, I don't think it's going to be. I think you can get
I
like he's
don't
not a
think
bad
that's
bowler,
what I'm saying. I think it's
but
a
I'm saying
this
like you're
test.
going to,
That's the
but we
thing.
know
Rahul
he'll give
doesn't
you an
think
extra
we can get
40
even the
runs if you need.
similar qualities as the quality of bowling as Shardul Thakur from Nitish Kumar Reddy. That's what Rahul is
Yeah,
saying.
that's the point. It's like the difference of bowling is not so huge where you're like, okay, it's going to be so big that we can't drop Shardul. It
I
is
think
pretty similar.
I just think in traditional English conditions, Shardul Thakur is actually good. But anyways, like
Yeah,
besides
somebody who
Rahul
does
is saying
get some
Rahul
natural like.
yeah. Sorry, I was just reading the comment. I was just saying what Chad
Yeah, yeah,
Kimber's
yeah. Go ahead,
podcast.
go ahead.
Even he said there's been a very dry summer in England. Kuldeep Yadav will be a handful. Dude, the thing is, I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, it has been a dry summer. There will be a little bit of turn. But you saw on this Headingley wicket, again, day 4, 5 only, there was a rough. That's when it started to spin. Like, really, like, wickedly. That's what I mean. So,
Hmm.
it looks like, I don't know. Even I think, like, yeah, if it technically, because it has been drier, there should be something for the
So, are
spinners
you
to
happy
do.
with Jadeja's bowling? Like,
I can't say I would not have Jadeja for the next game simply because like
no,
again with the bat, he's done pretty decently. Like in the second innings he was not out, and in the first
no,
innings
no, but
he
point
scored runs.
is he didn't
And
score runs in the first innings. But yeah,
okay, but the second innings he was not out. Like that's
yeah, but
that's
bro, it's not easy to just say because he didn't score runs, it's fine. But the point is, are you happy with his bowling? I think that's what we're talking about here as a
no,
spinner,
fine.
not
I
as a
think
batter.
at the end of the day, I would still have. We don't have another finger spinner as good as Jadeja, and I can't say that I would
Yeah,
drop
was
Jadeja.
she,
Also
to be
consider
fair?
the fact.
He
Also
wasn't my
consider the
finger
fact
spinner.
that if we do end up taking Shardul Thakur out and playing Nitish Kumar Reddy, that we
You have to
need. I
win
mean,
the.
and then if we take out Jadeja and play Kuldeep Yadav, our batting effectively does not improve. Like we are
Yeah,
losing
exactly.
I
one all
think
round. Like
I think if you get in Dhruv Jurel and
Bro,
Nitish
I
Kumar Reddy,
think Kuldeep
our
Yadav
batting
is bro,
improves
wrist spinner
immensely,
in England is
1,000%.
very risky, bro. Very
Sorry?
risky.
like we yeah we
Playing a
need a
wrist
pretty
spinner
much a
in
fingers,
England is
not just a
very
finger
risky.
spinner. It's just that I don't know. I believe I think we've seen enough of Jadeja so like to maybe believe in him that we can. He's not
Bro,
past his prime entirely.
okay,
I think this is an
even if
off
you
game.
say
Like I still back him to come in and hit the
Bro,
right
I
areas in
feel
the first
like,
test.
bro, for me personally, I just think it's not about Jadeja or Kuldeep, let me be honest. I think you have to just take some risks, bro, because if it's not working out with one player, and it's not
but
today,
it's
I
been
think it
one
was
test match. I don't think you can
Rahul,
really
but
go
my
too
point is
far.
not about the
And it's
intent
been
of
one.
getting wickets. My point is, did he adapt in that? Bro, I don't think he
But it's
even,
just
bro, it's like
that's what I'm saying. It's
bro,
one match. Like
Rahul, he's not a young guy who's coming and playing his first
exactly,
test match.
that's what I'm saying. I think he would have had a plan when he decided to go around the wicket
He
to Duckett.
did though.
I'm
We
sure
could
he would have
see.
had a plan.
Bro, yesterday when you were watching Jadeja ball and Duckett bat, who do you think had a plan? I think Ben Duckett had a plan
I'm
to
not
bat him
saying
out.
I think Duckett was better yesterday, and Jadeja should have gone
But it
into
was
the rough
also
like
Stokes, Rahul. It
from the
was also
beginning.
Stokes.
No, I think he bowled well to Stokes.
Oh,
But anyway,
Bro,
wait.
I was
In between,
watching
I
it
think
after some time. He
was
was
that a
like,
drop catch from Pant where in this he completely
so see, there
lost
were
it
track
two
of the
was
ball?
occasions where he
Did it
it
lost
hit
was
the
a
the
glove
ball.
KL
or did it hit the
Rahul
hand?
drop. It was a KL Rahul drop, but it went in no man's land basically.
There
So
were
No,
two
like
like
occasions.
Pant was
One in
always
the
looking
first
straight.
pitch
He wasn't.
ball.
He lost track of the ball. Like
Yeah, he lost
had
sight
that
of the
hit
ball.
the
He lost
glove?
sight of the ball. Yeah,
it hit the
it was back. It was back.
it hit the
Hmm.
glove.
So that I'm saying Jadeja, like bro, when he has to do things, he'll do. And bro, there's no better finger spinner right now in this squad. I don't see it. Where who's this is why we are but
Bro,
trust me,
I don't
Harsana
know,
can
bro.
be
Talking about
future
today,
number
like,
8. Just
sorry.
I'm just reading the comment. He's saying Harshitana can be a future number 8. Pass quite well and yeah, much like Cars can hit the deck is what he's saying. So Hashit Rana at number 8. I mean, again, like I just don't haven't seen him bat enough to say, okay, yeah,
But
like
bro, but again, to be fair, after Prasidh Krishna's performance yesterday, again, I don't want to be too harsh, but we were very harsh on Harshit Rana on his first test match in Australia. Do you guys see such a huge difference where you're like Rana doesn't have a chance in this squad, for
I'm not
example?
saying Rana doesn't
No,
have a
I
chance.
would, if
He's
anything, I would
saying
want to
at
see
number
somebody
8.
like Arshdeep coming in and coming in firm.
Ashdeep
Like I
will
want,
come
like
in anyways. Like he
Again,
will come in
bro,
for Bumrah.
no,
guys,
no,
I'm
no.
not
That
that
is
is
without like why if Bumrah stays as well. If Bumrah
no.
plays, I want Arshdeep to still be the third
He's
seamer.
suggesting that Rana comes in for Shardul
Comes in
at
for
number 8.
Acha. I mean,
Yeah.
again, we're not significantly improving with our bat. No, it's only a matter of fine
I
margins.
mean,
Like,
we are technically anyone can score more than 4 runs. If I think
Yeah,
Rana could have scored more than
but
4 runs.
like, it's not like it's going to happen every game that he scores 4 runs or
yeah.
whatever.
Are you guys
I
happy
mean,
with Karun Nair,
would you
Sai
really,
Sudarshan at number
would
3
you
and
guys,
Prasidh
would you really
Krishna?
say that
One test match,
like
I
you
don't, I
bring in a
won't.
pure batter instead of or somebody a batting specialist instead of Shardul Thakur is the same as bringing in Harshit Rana who can tonk on his days. Like I don't think it's the same case.
I think it's
Bro,
just
I don't
vice.
think Thakur is a batting specialist anymore. But again, like
No, no, no.
again,
That's
my question is, are you guys not like interested in? Okay, I don't know about Sai Sudarshan maybe, but bro, Karun Nair didn't look comfortable both the innings. Like, let me be honest. Like, do you guys think okay, a guy like Dhruv Jurel can play here because he's done well in England, the England versus India A card, this
A
thing.
games.
He
Yeah.
scored 50 plus in both games,
But didn't
both
Karuna
conditions.
also score 100 there?
Yeah, exactly. But he's not able to translate that to international level.
Yeah,
But
that's
someone like
I'm thinking that challenge is always going to be there. But I'd still go with the same 11. So
exactly,
I
bro.
wouldn't, I
That's
wouldn't.
my point. We have the patience for someone like Sai Sudarshan because he's young. But my point is, do you guys want to give that patience to Karuna? Because I actually was
You know,
surprised, but he
if
didn't
you
look
brought
comfortable.
if you
Yeah,
brought Karun Nair in after a long stint out, after the kind of domestic performances he's had, I think it'll be very harsh to. Of course, both the
yeah,
wickets. One was a cover drive that didn't even middle. The bat was like
Bro, that was a
the
bad
minute it
shot.
hit the bat, it was shaking. It was a bad shot, and the second one was also very soft dismissal where he bounced it back to
Mhm.
the bowler. But I don't. If you're
But
really
the thing
bringing in
was that
somebody
also
like
for me
to the
personally,
setup, you have to give them some time. Like it's not. I don't think
I
it's
agree.
very
That's my point. But my
yeah,
sensible to
point
just
yeah.
bring
is,
him out.
Dhruv Jurel also got a chance against England. He scored a lot of runs, loads of runs, and then he got dropped. So that's my question. Because
Hmm.
it's not like Dhruv Jurel didn't play well enough to get dropped. Like he was
I
scoring a
think it's
lot.
very unlucky, bro. If anything like that happens, very unlucky. And I think I genuinely don't think like after one game, like you can just say, yeah, thank you, thanks for coming, whatever. But I
No,
think
but
yeah, you got
see,
to
I'm
give him a
not
full.
saying that. My point is, don't you think Jurel maybe merits equally or more to be playing at a number 6? Because what is the reason he's been dropped? Like, let's say Karun Nair came into this team,
No, but
okay?
one thing, when was Jurel? I don't remember when he came in exactly.
He played against England last year and he scored a lot of runs.
At
And
home
yeah,
as a keeper.
yeah, I think as a keeper because Pandya
Yeah,
is
I
not
think
playing
that's
there.
why he's not
But
playing. It's
but
probably
no,
because
my
he's not.
point is he played in the same position as Karun Nair and he scored a loads of runs. Like,
I,
see, the
I
point
just
is
think I
you don't
don't
have to
think.
play Dhruv Jurel as a keeper purely because he's a good bat.
No,
He's
no,
a
I'm
great
not saying. I'm
batsman.
just saying that I think they see Karuna as a better batter simply for the fact that probably he's played more county games. He's also played in England before. Like I mean, he's come to England before. He's toured with the Indian team to England before, and he's yeah, bro. I just think that he's got the runs behind him this season. So fair enough. Like I don't think. I
But my
think
point
Dhruv is
is
also
Jurel
quality.
has the
He's also
same.
quality. But I can't now that they've made that call to go with Karuna, I can't say oh yeah now drop him. Like if they went for Jurel, I would not have been disappointed at the start of the series.
Yeah, but my point is okay. You gave him a chance the first test match. Play Jurel, see what happens. Like that's my
No, I
point.
think I don't think like bro, I think you have to back him. Like you've taken that call or back him.
Yeah.
Rahul, but this is not like football where you've invested loads of money on him where you can't just sell him
That
immediately.
doesn't matter. Like, I'm talking about the player's confidence itself. If Karuna is going to play for the next 1 2 years following this decision, you need that backing. I
But
don't think you can go and drop him after
but if
one
you're
game.
saying Karun Nair deserves a chance to play for next 2 3 years, you're doing that over a guy who's outperformed him from day one of his own test debut. Like that's my point. Like
When
Juru Jurel shouldn't be sitting on the bench is my
I mean, in
point.
that case, Karuna came in and scored a triple hundred and got dropped the next game.
Rahul, exactly my point. And look where we came to. We came to a position where we're calling back Karun
I mean,
Nair
my point
nine
is,
years
how are
later.
you saying that Dhruv Jurel has outperformed Karuna in Test cricket when Karuna has triple hundred to his
I'm
day
not
to his
saying
name on his
outperformed. I'm
debut?
saying right now in 2024 and 2025. I'm not talking about 2018 and
No, but
2025.
where is Karuna played in 2024 and 2025 for you to say that Dhruv Jurel has outperformed him?
Now, that's the point. When Drew Jurel
Hmm.
got a chance to come into the Indian Test squad, he scored loads of runs. My point
So,
is,
so
he
did
got.
Karuna.
Wait, 1 second. In
Hmm.
2024, it was Drew Jurel who was batting at number 6 for India and not Karun Nair. He scored truckloads of runs in the England series. He got dropped. That's my timeline. I'm saying he got dropped out of nothing, of his own fault. Punt came in, whatever, we moved on from there. After he got dropped, he's never gotten a chance to come back. But Karun has gotten a chance to be the number 5, number 6 of India without really having any reason to be like, oh, Dhruv Jurel doesn't deserve a chance. That's my point. My point is, you played one game. I'm just saying, why not try one game for Dhruv Jurel? Let's say next game.
I don't think you can
One
do
second.
that.
Like the next game, you give Dhruv Jurel a chance. What if he scores more runs? I think it's fair to be like, why is he dropped? Is my point. Like I think he did have a good. I remember he had a good this thing in Australia also when they played India here. He didn't get a real chance. He coming here also he didn't get. He hasn't gotten a chance in the first
He's
test
not
match.
in Australia. He played in Australia, no?
I think he played the pink ball though. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that was the
yeah.
game he played though. That's so harsh to be like pink ball, come play and then go home. Like you know
So,
what I
so
mean?
I think it's the same thing for Karuna and come play first test match in England after so many years and then go.
But you're saying he's been playing county for so long. He's played. He knows the conditions. No, Rahul. Regardless of that, Jaiswal
What?
didn't play here before.
How can you say that for Dhruv Jurel? Okay, ping ball test, come one game and he's not played. Okay, that's very harsh. But for Karun Nair, it's okay. It doesn't
I'm
make
not
sense.
saying it's okay, bro. Understand my point. My point is,
Hmm.
it's not about Karuna has failed or like he should be dropped because of that. I'm saying it's like Dhrujar has not gotten that same opportunity like
Yeah,
Karun Nair outside
that's what
India
I'm
to
saying. It's
show
not
himself.
In an
even.
ideal, in an
We have
ideal
not made
world,
that decision.
Huh?
like in an
You and I have
ideal
not made
world,
that decision.
Exactly. So my point is,
maybe
why not play Dhrujar who
Because
certainly can
after
play
one
better?
game, it would be really harsh to drop Karun Nair right
But
now.
that's what happened.
Adi,
That's what happened in Dhrujar is my point, Rahul.
So
And
that
you're not
he
okay with
I
that.
didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. What can I do? That's not my
uh,
fault.
So we can do it with Dhrujar, but we can't do it with Karun Nair is the
see,
question.
Why
Adi,
don't you do
like
that to any
in an
player?
ideal world,
That's what I'm
maybe
saying.
like somebody like Pant doesn't have his position secure. Like, of course, he had a brilliant 100 this game, but let's be real, the pitch was as flat as it could get. Like, you take
And
this
that's
out.
my point, Rishi. Like, even in such a flat pitch, even with such poor bowling by England, Jadeja looked better than you as a batter. Like, bro, you
No,
watch Karun Nair's
one
both
thing you
innings. He
cannot
was
say
not good.
that
Like, he
that
was
that
not
I'm
good.
sorry, you
Yeah, it's
cannot say
that
that
it's
Joe Root has scored some 60, 70 runs in this test match. Are we saying all of a sudden he's not amongst England's top three batters just because in this game he didn't score more than say a Brook or a Duckett or a whoever or Crawley?
Rahul,
Like
it's
I'm saying
simple.
Joe
If
Root is
you
suddenly
Rahul, if you and me
not as
go,
good as them.
now, if you and me go bat in the same conditions, you score 80 runs, I score 0 runs. Will you come and say, "Oh, actually, no, bro. Aditya is the he can be the better batsman because he scored zero, but
You
you'll
cannot
never
decide it
this,
all
that,
off
this,
of
that."
one game. That's not enough sample size.
Adi.
It
If you
is
have
enough
What
listen,
I'm
sample.
Adi,
saying,
if you have 10,000 runs
Again, you need
compared
to
to Rahul's maybe 1,500 runs, then
Rishi,
100% I'm closing my eyes and backing you.
but Rishi, my point is we're not talking about Root versus someone else. We're talking about two players who have not played enough Test cricket. That's my point.
True,
My point is
that
Karun
is
Nair got a chance out of nowhere. It's my point is I don't
it's
understand
not
where
out of
Dhruv
nowhere. Let's
true.
let's
Like,
make
it
that very
shouldn't,
clear.
it
like
is to an
that's
extent,
that
bro.
is what I was trying to say, that it should never have come to a position where
Then
it
okay, hey,
maybe
one
should have
second,
been
okay,
between
okay.
two
I'm
youngsters or
sorry.
like two
One
newbies.
second, 1 second,
Huh.
guys. 1 second. I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to put this point. If you're saying Karun Nair deserved the chance to play over, like, let's say someone like Dhruv Jurel, who's Dhruv Jurel played against England, played well. He's not really gotten a chance. He got dropped. But
I
someone
don't
like
remember
Sai
how much
Sudarshan,
is Dhruv
one
how many
second, one
runs
second.
Dhruv scored.
Someone like Sai Sudarshan, who hasn't played Test ever, compared to someone like Abhimanyu Ishwaran, who's been the top scorer in Ranji for a quite while, has been playing well. He doesn't get a chance at number 3, but we're not talking about how Sai Sudarshan should have been. Like, he came to the team without even getting a chance. Like, for example, Abhimanyu Ishwaran wasn't even given a chance in the 11, not even once, to see, like, let's compare Sai Sudarshan versus Ishwaran. Let's see what we got between both. And I think, honestly, we can't sit here and say Sai Sudarshan deserves it wholeheartedly. Like, you have to have a conversation where you're like, Ishwan also deserves a chance. Maybe in this test series, let's see what both of them can do. Because he didn't get a fair chance in Australia. He's just there in the Indian squad. I don't understand. He's just there in the Indian squad. Sai Sudarshan was not there in the Australia squad. It was Ishwaran. Coming to England, Ishwaran was still in the squad, but he's not getting a chance over Sai Sudarshan. Why is that conversation? My whole point is that I'm not saying Karun Nair shouldn't be in this team. Like, bro, I was so happy when Karuna was playing. I was telling you guys like he needs to play. But my point is equally Dhruv Jurel deserves the chance. My point is give both of them the chance. Try to
I don't
compare and
deny
see
that.
what's
I don't deny that at all. I don't. And same thing
so
for
we can
Ishwar and
do that
Vice
is my
versa.
point, right?
I am saying, bro, I agree. I think all these guys deserve chances, but I'm saying if you have taken the call to go with one of them over the other, then you have to back that player. You can't say after one game, thank you, see you later. We'll look back. We'll look at you
Okay,
later.
okay, okay.
I don't
Let's
think
say
that's
a
fair.
hypothetical situation where, let's say, Sai Sudarshan or Karun Nair, because we have to have a conversation because the India lower order did not play at the best. It continues the same trend, two more innings in what I think we're playing Edgbaston next, right? If that happens there, then would you be like, okay, there needs to be a
I think
conversation?
for me personally, I would say give them two more test matches. If that doesn't happen, then yes.
So you're saying
Otherwise, no.
four.
No, I'm saying two more test matches.
So
So
you're
at
saying
least I
three
would say
test
at least
matches.
give them three tests this series. And
Interesting.
then if it doesn't happen, then fair enough. Like it's okay, you can move on. But I don't think I think dropping someone after one or two tests would be a little harsh.
I mean, that's what happened to Jurel, and that's my point. But yeah.
No, I didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't do it. I would not have done it.
It's as unfortunate as it is with Dhruv Jurel. Like that's what the point I was trying to make, that it should never have been between somebody who has had a lengthy stint out and is getting a second break here, and somebody who has been in the fringes. Like it should have been somebody like between, if it was really like the contention for Jurel, it should have been with somebody who hasn't been consistent of late, is iffy with gloves, but has his position relatively secure. That's what I'm trying to say. That okay, like before the whole vice captaincy thing, the question should have been asked towards Rishabh Pant, because we know not a great keeper, like okay keeper at best, and of course he's had his huge moments, brilliant hundreds abroad, but of late hasn't been contributing as much. You take out this 100 in a very very flat track. So that's where, like, maybe if that kind of like, if that was a question, if Jurel gets a break over there, then you have a lot more space to accommodate these other cricketers, these other batsmen who are in top form. But now that that one position is locked up, you're pretty much competing with 2 3 people for just one spot. So ultimately two of them are going to miss out, and that is going to create a problem, like, regardless. But I kind of agree with Rahul in the sense that if you are really bringing in somebody, it's very harsh to like remove them after just one test. Now I don't know, to remove, or like if the form continues, to replace them after the second or the third test, that depends on our situation, because it's not entirely black and white. If we end up getting beaten comprehensively, we will need some bold changes going into third test. But if we really compete, then we still have case to make in the third test. So I think, but again, like, yeah, off one test is just a little too harsh at this point, at least. So that is pretty much it for this the review of the first test and the plan as to what we will be doing in the upcoming test. Because again, with considering all factors, it is pretty much a must win game, considering Bumrah's fitness as well. So hopefully we do better, we compete more, we have our team as a whole, as collectively as possible, gets to perform more and put up a better show than the first test. So yeah, catches live then, and we'll come up with more interesting topics to discuss. So keep watching, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Ral. We'll be back soon. Thank you.